Starting new habits is easy, but making them stick, that's a whole other story. You've most likely heard of the book Atomic Habits and that you should start small. Maybe you've even installed a habit tracker or used a notebook to track your habits, but since you're here watching this, you're most likely still failing. To hopefully help you, I assembled the main reasons why you're failing to establish habits with simple solutions that you can use to actually make them stick. Failure. Failure is unavoidable. Understand that consistency does not require perfection. Slipping up one day does not matter in the long run. Building habits is not a game of all or nothing. The important thing is that you get back on track after failing, which means try to never miss twice. One mistake is an outlier, but 2 mistakes are the beginning of a pattern. Therefore, when you mess up, don't go too hard on yourself. It can be easy to convince yourself that you need to do double the next day to catch up. I really don't recommend that, as it will be harder to get back on track, which is the opposite of what we want. Instead, the day after you fail, focus on just meeting your baseline. You can use the 2-minute rule, which I talk about in this video, to get started, but you still need to know where to set your baseline, which you'll learn along with the next reason why your habits don't stick. Your habit is too difficult. Why do you think you can suddenly go from a sloppy training schedule to a 6-day-a-week training split? Or why do you think you can suddenly consistently wake up at 5 a.m. every day when your body is used to waking up at 9 a.m.? Sorry, but you're not much different from the average dude. If you really want your habits to stick, you need to be honest with yourself. That is exactly when you can start making progress and becoming an extraordinary dude. Set the bar low to something you can always do before bed. Most days you can still do your full workout, but when you can't, just do the bare minimum and count it as a success. Slowly increase the baseline and count every day you hit it as a success, regardless of whether you did a full workout. If you only mark the full workouts as a success, you're subconsciously setting a new baseline that's way too high for completion on bad days. You can think of the baseline as a normality line representing what is normal to you. This is why you have to set it so low that not reaching it would be abnormal. You don't enjoy doing it. Smoking, drinking, and eating unhealthily are all easy habits because they light up your brain with dopamine and pleasure chemicals. On the other hand, many positive habits, such as deep work, meditation, and exercising, don't have immediate, obvious rewards. Yes, after some time they will absolutely have rewards, but they often need a little help to get started. Therefore, we can add some enjoyment to these habits. One way to do this is by rewarding yourself for these habits. Eat a cookie after a workout, but just 1, or 2, perhaps 3. Okay, maybe something healthy but still nice instead of a cookie. Another way to enjoy habits is to gamify them. If you want to learn a language, try using Duolingo in the beginning to make your habit consistent. They have pretty much mastered the gamification part of learning languages. The last technique I heavily recommend and use myself is temptation bundling, which you can learn more about in this video. Too many habits at once. Having too many good intentions can be quite a problem. At first, you feel super motivated and unstoppable, but these feelings quickly fade away. Each habit comes with its own amount of resistance to overcome. Therefore, when you bulk them all together, you have way too much resistance to overcome. This is why you need to focus on one habit at a time until its resistance lowers and just becomes part of your daily life. Then you can add a new habit and repeat the cycle. Not changing your environment. If you see a cookie on the counter, you'll probably eat it. Many of your actions are just a response to the environment around you. Therefore, by changing your environment, you can make bad habits harder by increasing the number of steps required to do them. The same goes for good habits by reducing the number of steps required to do them. Often we focus so much on improvement by addition that we totally forget improvement by subtraction. Instead of chasing the perfect meal, you can simply change your environment to eliminate eating bad foods, which will probably result in a better average. Stop trying to find motivation and reasons for doing things. Instead, change your environment and realize that you don't need motivation to take action. You need to be surrounded by the right cues. Not creating a plan for your habits. So I mentioned removing motivation and surrounding yourself with the right cues, but how do you do that? The most common cues are time and location. By creating a plan with a specific time and location, you are much more likely to follow through. Look at this study, where Group 1 was told to work out and Group 2 was told the same, as well as the benefits of working out. 35 to 38% of those people successfully worked out at least once per week. But now look at Group 3, who were told to set a specific time and location they would work out. 91% of them successfully exercised at least once a week. The difference is that Group 3 had clarity. They didn't have to rely on willpower and motivation, so to put it simply, plan when and where you will do your habit.